Someone's running.
The chairman has to sign those.
That's Joe.
Good afternoon. I'm now going to call the Wednesday, November 29th, 2023 meeting of the Norfolk County Commissioners to order. On Wednesday, March 29th, 2023, Governor Healy signed into law Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, an act making appropriation for fiscal year 2023, which includes a 2-year extension of the option for public bodies to hold remote meetings by suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. That action was effective immediately, extending the current option for remote meetings through March 31st, 2025. Thank you. You could join me in saluting the flag. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Commissioner
before we
Stevens.
sit and start our meeting, really, if I have a moment of silence to observe the passing of former Canton Board Selectman Ed Sullivan, who passed away last week after a brief illness. Ed served the town of Canton in several capacities, most notably as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeal. He served on the Select Board for 6 years and then went on to serve as the first delegate for the MWRA. And he did a commendable job. And in fact, he had a building dedicated for the outstanding work he did for the town. So our condolences to the family, and we could have a moment of silence to observe Ed passing. May add to a Korean veteran, by the way, veteran of Korea. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
This meeting is called to order. I'm going to call the roll. Commissioner Stady.
I am present.
Commissioner Collins.
Present.
Commissioner Shea is present. Number 3, minutes of the open session meeting of November 22nd, 2023. For approval.
I'll move approval of the meeting minutes of 11/22.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Number 4, appointments. I have none. Number 5, public comment. Each week at our meetings, we have a line item in our agenda for public comment. If there's anyone out in Zoom land that has any public comment, now is the time to make it. Director Cronin, have you had any notice? Does anyone have any comment?
No, sir.
Last call for public comment. Seeing none. Number 6, old business. I have none. Number 7, personnel matters for consideration. We have none.
Not this week.
Okay. Payroll and expense warrants, number 8, Commissioner Stady.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I move the following for approval for the warrant list of 11/29/23. We have 4 items. First one, 24-21. Move approval of the payroll of the county, the amount of $153,794.71. So moved.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
Second item, Mr. Chairman, 24-21, parentheses 11.1, payroll of the school. I move the approval of $55,636.03. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Next.
Third, again, payroll for the school. This is 24-21, parentheses 11. I move the amount of $373,155.95. So moved.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
And final one, expense for the county for 11-05/23. I move the amount of $51,507.49. So moved.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Thank you. That concludes the payroll and expense warrants. Number 9, report on American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Director Cronin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are no grants before you this week. Just a quick update. I think the commissioners recall that there was a change in the level 2 auditor contract. That change has resulted in a slight delay in several of the applications pending at level 2 coming before you. I spoke with our new auditor by email on Monday. She has all full credentials to review the pending applications, and I expect over the next several days, several of the pending 7 applications will be moving in the direction for your approval, perhaps as early as next week. So that's basically the update on ARPA. Other than that, I'll give you a brief update under my director's comments later on regarding an upcoming county commissioners meeting. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions about the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021? Number 10, sister to that, any wants, we have no one today for approval.
No.
I'm gonna go to number 12, contract awards, we have none. 13, report of the county director.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A few items. As the commissioners know, 2 weeks from today, you'll be, the advisory board will be convening their next meeting on behalf of county business at the agricultural school. In preparation for that, this morning I held a fiscal team meeting with the assistant treasurer, our financial manager, Phil Iantowska, procurement manager, Nancy Rockwell, and her fiscal specialist, Will Robinson. We went through the current conditions associated with the county's revenue picture for FY FY24. The current model shows that if revenue collections hold at their current rate, we will be about $1.1 million below benchmark. The team discussed a host of different options, which we will bring before the chair and the rest of the commissioners next Wednesday for consideration prior to the advisory board meeting. It's safe to say that this $1 million projected shortfall is something that we've been looking at since the beginning of the fiscal year, and some of the softening revenue collections, which are economic driven. But as we approach mid-year, it's time to take some action and consider the options that are before us to resolve this projected deficiency. So you'll hear more about that next week. The employee handbook has received its final edits from council. We received those edits yesterday. I'll be meeting with our human resources director later this afternoon to go over those edits to see what they bring to us in terms of detail. Our hope is that, given this last read, you'll also have the handbook before you next week. We'll present it to you for your information and reading pleasure, and then ask for a vote. Probably give you 2 weeks to review it before we have any considered vote, hopefully before the end of calendar year 2023. This morning, I received an update on various facility activities from Tara DeFonso, Rentham District Court. They are finishing the project to enclose exposed pipes and cells. This was a audit finding by the trial courts that they wanted the county to resolve. Joe Feeney, our carpenter, is working to complete that work. Various cement repair and railings repair has been completed by facility staff. Corolla Roofing has started replacing slate around the cupola at the district court. In Brookline, the judge's hallway in the judge's chambers has been painted. Ladies' room similarly painted. Stoughton, the first session judge's lobby has been painted and repaired, as well as the rear stairwell. And in Superior, the plumber has repaired various plumbing problems in the basement of that facility. So our staff and facilities remain active and busy in several of our courts. I also wanted to add to this, thank you to Tara DeFonso and John Vignoni for working with our vendors to come up with projected costs for carpeting and new flooring in a couple of our courtrooms. The trial courts had approached me about a month ago, indicating they had approximately $100,000 in surplus funds that they wanted to put into facility improvements. These particular quotes have been passed along for the trial courts for them to assess, and we're happy to help coordinate that work with again, payment coming from the trial court. So between what has been done and what is planned, I think they're looking at several busy months ahead for the trial courts doing various improvements with it. That's all I have relative to that.
Commissioner Stady.
Just a quick reminder on the calendar before I conclude with my remarks, Commissioner. Next Friday, December 8th, you have a county commissioners meeting in Bristol.
Yeah.
And then the reminder, 12/13 is the advisory. Thank you.
Just a quick follow-up through you, Mr. Chairman, of
Yes.
course. Did we vote was it flooring or ceiling for a couple of the courthouses at the previous meeting 2 weeks ago? We had talked about, I asked about Stoughton, you said Stoughton was one of them, but was it ceiling we were putting in or was it flooring? I know we voted something about making improvements for two of the courts. We were doing.
I'm not
improvements.
having a recollection of that right
It
now.
was Dedham and it was Rentham, I believe. So
I-
that's why maybe that's really
It could have
Chocolate
been,
there.
again, I'm
Okay.
not drawing a conclusive recollection
Oh,
of
no,
that,
was
but it could
okay.
be that I made remarks about the plans to get these quotes for
Okay.
flooring. This is the only activity
That might have
regarding
been it.
flooring that I'm aware of.
Okay, now this is, and just curious, you can follow up with John or John, whoever wants to come back and do it. In Rentham, I remember there was a problem in the holding cell. They were afraid because it was a pipe that could be a problem in terms of,
An anchor point.
right,
That's
so
what this work.
that's what that work was there. That's what I was asking about. Okay, perfect, good. That's
Yeah, they
great.
had to wait
That's
for
great.
various seasonal changes to occur to begin boxing them in because you can't work on a hot pipe at certain times.
Okay. You remember
It's
that?
work that is really contingent upon the availability of the pool itself too. So
Right,
it's been going on, I think, since the spring.
Okay, yep, I remember that with the prior magistrate, Michelle, I think her name was. I believe it was,
Right,
but that was something they brought to our attention.
Yeah, I believe trial courts conducted their own safety audit. So
Yep.
it came through their administrative space.
Okay.
But,
All good.
work is closing in on.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That is all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions of Director Cronin? Okay, we'll go back to number 11, bid openings at 1:30. We have none. It's not 1:30 yet. We don't have any bid openings today. Number 14, emergency items, topics the chair did not reasonably anticipate would be discussed. I have none.
Am I allowed to talk about the
Yes,
Aggie or
about what?
Can I give you an update in the Aggie or not?
Sure.
Do you want to?
Absolutely.
Just so you'll know.
I think it's germane.
It's, well, just as chairperson, acting chairperson. So John Martin and I conducted an interview with the company for strategic planning. We've got another interview coming up Friday. And then next week, we're interviewing candidates for the admin replacement. So it's going to be, next couple of weeks, going to be very busy. And that's in anticipation of our trustee meeting in the middle of the month. So we'll have good reports to tell you about. But things are going well. Hopefully we'll have that in place for the trustees to
Okay.
evaluate both. Okay? That's all I had.
I'm all set.
Okay.
Did we do it?
You did it, yeah.
Last call. Anything else?
You tell me to be
Anything else?
quiet. I'll move adjournment at 1:14.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Hey.
Wait,
Aye.
Oh, wait,
Go
someone
ahead.
there?
talk to talk to her, or should I just leave them here?
I can give them to.
It's
Someone's
somewhere.
talking. Franny will be proud. Did we vote that? 3-0?
1:14. 3-0.
Okay, there you
Yes,
go.
we are adjourned. Next week,
We'll make up for it, I'm sure.